Don't remember if we mentioned it or not, but last time we had the transmission out on my car, we realized that the clutch didn't have much life left. We were in a rush, so we threw it back together. Since I want my car to last and not have issues this summer, we are going to be putting in a new action clutch. We used one on Nicole's 1JZ swap and it feels really nice, so I figured I would kind of go with a similar setup on my car. I walk out to the garage and look who's here and's already got stuff done. What'd you get done this morning, Alberto?
I took out the billet flywheel, so we have a lightweight flywheel for your car.
This is Nicole's transmission from her SR20. We actually just got a new flywheel like 100 miles before the car blew up.
Yeah, I just have a little heat spots, but no slick bars or anything. There's no crystallization, so I thought we had to like resurface it, but it's still brand new.
So that'll be really nice, and it's a sweet lightweight flywheel. So today, I figure amongst many other things, we'll make a video installing the clutch. We gotta pull the transmission out and get at that stuff, so should be fun. Oh yeah.
What I got.
R.I.P.
Yeah, so what seems to happen, I believe the dowel pin had failure, the dowel pin maybe bent or something. No, it didn't spawn a rod bearing like I thought it did. So took this out, it bent the dowel pin and make the rod get stuck. As you can see, it doesn't like turn past that point, and it just makes the rod break right there. The rod on the bottom actually still spins freely on the crankshaft. Huh. That's weird. Weird because you weren't making barely any power anyway, so it's probably like, what?
Maybe
3 something?
Not even, probably like 300 if that.
Yeah, this rod's hold like 600 horsepower. I don't know why they broke like that, it's really weird.
Shifter's gotta come out first. You guys remember how to take this off from my last video. Just those 4 bolts right here and then we just pop it right up.
Alberto, what are you doing? Taking the top training bolts off so it's easier. That way when we get on the bottom, we just taking the bottom ones off and it comes right out.
So rather than taking the whole plate off, we can just take these 4 Allens off and that'll let us get this off so we can get the tranny out there. There are those springs that pull out with a little shim underneath and then this just comes right up. I didn't know you had to lower it.
Yeah, lower it so it makes it easier. It drops the whole thing down. That way you can maneuver the bell housing out. If not, you're gonna have this the hardest time ever. So Adam is now doing the Driveshaft bolts. These are the bolts that hold the driveshaft to the differential.
Because we gotta pull the driveshaft out. Alberto just pulled out the clutch master.
No, the clutch slave, Adam.
So, oh yeah. So
clutch slave.
Whatever.
And I got 1 bolt left on the starter. I got 2 bolts left holding the transmission bell housing. Once Adam gets that off, I'll do that. But first, I'm gonna take the exhaust down. Well, no, I don't have to take the exhaust. I'll leave it on there this time. And then we take the sensors off and the transmission support. I can never keep my hands clean. It's like, can't contain these hands in these gloves.
Does it always look that brown color?
Not really. It's like water on it a little bit.
It looks like I blew a tranny head gasket. I'm pretty sure this is from when I had brake fluid leaking a long time ago. And a little bit from the fire probably when you're talking more up there. But a lot of my underbody's kind of just like peeling away. And I'm nervous that bringing this car up north, it might be exposed to some of the salt on the roads. So I might just take like a paint scraper and start peeling some of the stuff off. Just give it like a coat of black paint or something. Just give myself some peace of mind. Wow. I've been starting to scrape all of this rubberized coating off the frame rails. I'm really excited to paint it. I'm like embarrassed every time I put my car in the air and see this crap. Is that whole thing shaking my bumper?
What? Oh, the intercooler plate.
Oh. What do you need?
Get a flathead screwdriver and just pry the bell housing.
Can we try more?
Should be good.
Since we kind of forgot a step and didn't lift the engine, we're using the engine hoist to kind of lift up the oil pan to put it at a better angle so Alberto can slide it out. How do you want to do this? We don't put it.
The floor, right there. Much lower, lower your side.
So on Nicole's car, this one has about 50% life left, maybe somewhere around there. And then when you look at mine that was in my car, so I was basically driving around with almost no clutch left, and somehow it never slipped.
Yeah, that's like 1% battery, 1% clutch left. Like it's almost at the rivet.
That's crazy.
Once it hits the rivet, it's done.
Well, good thing we're changing it.
Yeah, no, we're gonna have to readjust the clutch pedal because with the thicker disc, the pedal pushes up more. So we're gonna have to readjust the pedal.
Action clutch is sweet. Everything is made in the USA and hand assembled over here. They actually saw the video where we put their clutch in Nicole's car and they were hyped that we said good things about them, so they sent me a clutch for my SR. So thank you guys, very much needed.
All right, so to start off, we're gonna be upgrading to a 6-plug sprung disc. Instead of having the organic full face disc, this one is a more aggressive disc for racing, also has more torque clamping load. And I had them specify for street and track application a 2,100 pound pressure plate. So that's about the right pressure you want to have a lot of torque handling, but not be too stiff on your leg if you want to daily the car. Oh, it's nice. They have a coil bearing and everything.
Oop. Had.
Oh, we gotta rent this tool as well. We gotta go rent a blind hole puller to remove the old pilot bearing from the engine.
This red is pretty. I like it. It's a shame you never get to see it. This is the old steel flywheel. This is the somewhat new chromoly one that's a lot lighter that we had in Nicole's transmission.
I think this one was like 11 pounds from competition.
What's this one? Probably like 20?
Something like that.
Just grabbed some stuff from the local O'Reilly's. Pretty stoked. I got a commercial account set up today, so now stuff's a bit cheaper. Pumped.
There you go, making some moves.
And we found out that they have VR1 by like the 5-quart jug.
I didn't know they sell that. That's the greatest thing.
I know, it's very great.
One and then one.
We needed a special tool to take out the pilot bearing, and O'Reilly's didn't really have the exact one that we wanted. So we had to drive like 5 minutes over to AutoZone and then another 5 minutes to Advanced. Neither of them had them, so we ended up getting the O'Reilly's one. And now we're at Chipotle because we're hungry. It's like 4 p.m. and we still need to eat lunch.
Yeah, we passed by Chipotle like 5 times. Like, oh, food. Nope. Oh, food. Nope.
It's weird. I feel like I go here so much and it probably implies that I like Chipotle. It's good, but I'm not like a Chipotle fanboy. It's just here, it's quick, and it's decent, and everyone likes it.
And Chipotle's great.
We got a remanufactured auto parts brake booster. One thing you gotta make a note of on these, they come unpainted, so they will rust out. So Alberto just sprayed with some brake cleaner, and now we're gonna paint it gloss black, but we're actually gonna wrap it with like heat reflective tape. We just need the surface that'll stick to a little bit better. I scraped off a lot of the stuff off the frame rails. I don't really care about making them look pretty, I just don't want them to really rust. And if you look, underneath the coating that was peeling, it is starting to rust a little bit. So I picked up some of this stuff that is supposed to be able to paint over like bare metal and stuff that's mildly rusted, just to stop the rust. Because it's not really bad, it's just surface rust, but I don't have time to go and like sand down all the frame rails and all the underbody of this car. Not perfect, but at least now we are protected from rust. Other than that inside bit that's a little wrinkly, I'm like super happy with how clean this came out. And like that inside bit will be covered up by the master anyway, so sick. We've been waiting for this input shaft seal to come in to finish everything that we're doing, and we've been waiting for the tools that I had to go pick up at O'Reilly's that we have to use to get the carrier bearing out. And I also got new inner tie rods and the gaskets to prevent the car from smelling like gas. After patiently waiting for the tool, we found out that it doesn't fit. So instead of just renting this tool, we're gonna buy it, and I'm gonna have Alberto grind down the edges, and then we'll be able to make it work.
Okay.
Alberto, is my heat wrap job Alberto approved?
Yep.
So this will just kind of like reflect some of the heat away.
So if I stand with this on the sun, I won't get my forehead burned. The important stuff is that I actually got the pilot bearing removed from the SR20. I had to modify this tool that we got from O'Reilly's because it was too thick and it wouldn't fit. So I just grinded down the edges of the tool, so we'll actually go into the pilot bearing, and I can expand it on the other side and use the sledgehammer thing to get it out. So you attach this and you just like, it comes off. All right, very important thing, why do you have to replace your pilot bearing? it wears out. This holds your transmission input shaft centered to the crankshaft of the engine. If this wears out, that means that the input shaft of the transmission is gonna go out of center, and it's gonna make a lot of clutch shatter. It can like break your input shaft, cause all kind of major damage. Normally, even clutch companies will tell you that you need to replace this stuff. If you don't replace your pallet bearing, they will void your warranty. So if you blow your tranny or break your clutch or whatever, the first thing I ask is, do you replace the pallet bearing? They may ask for a picture or something. So be sure to replace this old pallet bearing with a brand new shiny one and keep everything centered.
How's it coming?
It works, but I can't hold it in my hand. That's sketchy.
You made it too big.
What do you mean I made it too big?
Wow.
You use red thread locker, right?
Yep.
So he's tightening down the flywheel bolts right now, and then we should be able to start throwing everything together. Alberto tilted the engine a little bit more than when we took the old transmission out. Well, I guess this is still an old transmission, but so it should be a little bit easier in theory. I got it in? Yeah. Look at me. I started pulling the old brake booster out, but I had a really hard time because it's really difficult to kind of like find what you're doing underneath the dash unless you've done this before. So Alberto did it in like a quarter of the time as me, and the new one's going in looking super gold and flashy. There's just 4 bolts on that side, then 1 like little dowel pin that goes in the pedal, and just 2 bolts here. It's really simple. All right, so we're pretty much all done now. Sorry I didn't film, but put the drive shaft back together, put the transmission back in, got everything hooked up. Last thing is just putting a few bolts on the downpipe, then I want to start it, make sure the new brake booster works, and then clean up, and then do more stuff tomorrow. The throwout bearing makes a lot more noise if you want to listen. It doesn't sound like a twin disc where it's like rattling, but it makes this whining noise. It might go away. It's kind of funny. I'm not too sure if the brake pedal's fixed. It's kind of stiff still. I'll have to know once I drive it around a little bit. Best thing though is with this lightweight flywheel, my car revs so much nicer, which is sick. And the clutch is actually a bit softer with the 6-puck. It was really stiff before, so. Nicole whipped us up some nice noodles and chicken.
Hey, and peas.
And peas. Alberto, what do you think of this this food here?
Well, Nicole says very healthy. It's a creamy substance that's healthy and nutritious.
As it stands, tomorrow we are going to button up like some of the major stuff with the car, and then Friday the plan is to film the last 2JZ update before I leave. We're going to go through like all the parts, kind of like the plan with the S15. Why am I so blown out right now? Sorry. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do.
Exposure adjustment?
Yeah, it's set at 0, so I don't know what's going on. We'll get a little dark.
Put the manual ring on and adjust it. Oh, that's better.
My camera's automatic. Lots of big stuff coming soon. I've been super hyped on all the positivity from you guys. I will see you tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. Later, guys.